everybody watching. Fantastic to see you all on the screen. I'm Sheila, and you can tell by my accent where I'm from. Yes, I'm from Tamworth. Woohoo! Fantastic stuff. Folks, it is wonderful to be here as part of the Rugeley Fringe Festival and to be here at the Rugeley Rose. That's like a tongue twister, isn't it, folks? The Rugeley Rose Theatre. And you know something, folks? After the last 5 or 6 years doing sell-out theatre shows, my career has reached a new height. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. 5 people in the audience! Yes, I love the way you're being quiet as well. I appreciate that. So yes, but of course this is COVID times, folks, you know, and we're coming across to you virtually, which is absolutely fantastic. And just to let you know, kind of my set is going to be a mixture of comedy and music. And on top of that, I am also a registered qualified counsellor. And my philosophy is that when clients see how messed up I am, they realise that they're normal. So, folks, just to tell you a true story, in preparation for this gig to happen here today, I rang up Rugeley Town Council and I said, "Is this Sam?" And the person replied, "No, it's the town clerk." And straight away, I thought of Jackie Weaver. And I had a mixture of respect and fear because I started wondering, is this call being recorded? Have I used inappropriate behaviour and am I going to go viral? I quickly got off the phone. But what we do know, folks, is over the last year, town councils will never be the same since Jackie Weaver. Fantastic stuff. Okay, folks. So, yes, it is fantastic to be here. And, you know, like, I love my clients. I mean, I mentioned about doing counselling, being a registered qualified counsellor. And I love my clients, although one of them says that I'm a stalker. I mean, technically, he's not my client yet, but he will be. I went for a counselling job there. I remember a couple of years ago going for this counselling job, and I remember the manager of the agency, she says to me, "Sheila, if you're in a session with a bloke and he was to get his willy out, how would you handle it?" Well, seemingly, with both hands, was not the correct answer. But, you know, like, there you go, like, yeah, you do your best. We need to have a sense of humour, don't we, folks? Especially over the last year. Holy cow! Humour has kept so many of us going. And thankfully, you know, the organisation that I abide to, which is the BACP, that's the British Association of Cyclers, counsellors and psychotherapists. That you can tell it's been a year since I've been on stage, folks. But anyway, yes, that I abide by their ethics. But luckily, they have a funny humour section on the website. And I came across what's called the Psychotherapy Helpline. And I'd like to share it with you, folks, okay? And it goes like this. "Hello, and welcome to the Psychotherapy Helpline. If you are an obsessive compulsive, please press 1 repeatedly at 5-second intervals. If you are codependent, please ask your partner to press 2 for you. If you are schizophrenic, a little voice inside your head will tell you which number to press. Manic depressives, press any number you want because nobody will answer anyway. If you are paranoid, we know who you are and what you want. We'll trace the call and get back to you. Addictives, press hash. Delusionals, press star. And for all of you who are inattentive, please hold." Now, on that note, I must have a little bit of I'm in water. Okay, folks, right. Well, this is great because it's going out virtually, so effectively I could get pissed if I wanted to. Anyway, right. Okay, I obviously love psychology. I love human behaviour, folks. And whenever about psychology, I know that reverse psychology definitely works. Because I remember back in Ireland, I'd have old aunts coming up to me at weddings going, "You'll be next, you'll be next." Well, they stopped saying that to me after I started saying the same thing to them at funerals. It definitely works, folks. So, yes, I am obviously originally from Ireland. So, a big hello to the Irish people out there watching. So, I don't know if you're in a pub or you're down the local village hall or wherever you are, but I hope you're enjoying this. I hope you're enjoying the crack, folks. You know, like being Irish, it'll come as no surprise to you that I am a Catholic. But if you hadn't worked that out, don't feel guilty. I'll do that for you. My grandmother, she was a real staunch Catholic, you know, and she always erred to the Catholic ways. Like, for example, she went on the pill because she didn't want any more grandkids. And my grandfather, he was a raving alcoholic. And I used to say to him, you know, Granddad, drink will be the death of you. And sure enough, he was run over by a Guinness truck. I don't know if you meant to laugh at your own jokes, but it does make me tickle every time. Folks, just to tell you another bit about myself, I've been married twice. Yes, I know what I said earlier on. My first husband died, and the other one wouldn't. So I had to divorce the fecker. Now, I have been told I can use the word feck, so there. My current bloke, he kept me awake all night, you know, but not in the way I wanted him to, you know. No, he kept staring at the window. I got so fed up that eventually I had to let him in. I remember going to counselling myself over him, and the counsellor, she says to me, you know, Sheila, you need to be more assertive with your bloke. You need to be more demanding. So I says to him, I want you to take off my dress, to take off my knickers, and I never want to see you wearing them again. Anyway. So, folks, I think, you know, we should do a song here for the crack. Obviously, being from Ireland, I love the Irish tunes, folks. And I'm going to do a bit of the old Molly Malone. Now, I know the young ones watching this will be thinking, what the feck is Molly Malone? It's a famous statue back in Ireland. Some people say she was a hard-working woman. Some people say she was a bit of a slapper. Who cares? There's a lovely song that's come out of it. And I hope that you'll sing along, folks, wherever you are. Just sing along. Even if people are watching you, so what? Just don't care. Life's short. We've learned that over the last year, especially. In Dublin's fair city, where the girls are so pretty, I first set my eyes on sweet Molly Malone. As she wheeled a wheelbarrow through streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, you. She was a fishmonger, and sure 'twas no wonder, 'cause so was her father and mother before. And they both wheeled their barrows to streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. I want to see you swaying up in that box, Sam. Alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. I'm loving the way the crew here are waving from side to side. Now here comes a sad chorus. She died of a fever. Well, it was actually foot and mouth. And no one could save her, 'cause he just couldn't be arsed. And that was the end of sweet Molly Malone. Now ghost wheels her barrow to streets broad and narrow, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Come on, I want to see y'all swim. Alive, alive, oh, alive, alive, oh, crying cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh. Well done, folks. You! Ow! Fantastic stuff. Okay then, folks. Thank you so much for swaying along. It's lovely, because you can imagine as a performer really missing that audience interaction, folks. And I know it's lovely to be going out to your live when this goes out live. So I certainly hope you're singing along, getting drunk, or not getting drunk, just getting high on life. So, folks, I mentioned about me working in mental health, and it's something I'm very passionate about, and something that means a lot to me, because I had to overcome my own mental health issues, anxiety, you know, all that sort of stuff. And And, it reminds me of the saying, I've been through some terrible things in my life, and some of them actually happened. Because mental health is a bit like that. And the thing is that it is hard to understand if you're not used to it. And a friend of mine, she says to me, she says, Sheila, what's a panic attack? And I was thinking, how do I explain this in a way that she can relate to it? And I was thinking, what's she into? And she likes a bit of jiggy-jiggy. She's always talking about it. And I says to her, a panic attack is like an orgasm. You'll know when you've had one. And that's the thing, folks, it really is. I know anybody watching this that's ever had a panic attack will know exactly what I'm talking about. And then you've got other stuff like depression. And I love that, that saying that depression is merely anger without enthusiasm. And I can tell you, folks, I come across that all the time in my practice. And certainly went through it myself, to be fair. Well, it's interesting, like, especially with depression, because oftentimes with depression is people lose their worth, And I've come to the conclusion that if depression was a perfume, it would be called self-sabotage. And the advert would go like this: self-sabotage by L'Oreal, because I'm worthless. And it is very much like that, folks. It really is. Okay, I'm mindful of time. I know you've got lots of other acts that are coming on today. So, folks, what I'd like to do is I'd like to share one of my own songs. This is a Fringe festival, after all. And I love the way there's such a mix of different talents. And this song is a song called Free to Be Me. And it's all about not giving a toss what other people think of you. And it's funny, folks, when I do my mental health talks, I do a lot of audience interaction. And I'll say, hands up to people pleasers. And I'll say, hands up people who go out of their way for everyone else. And, of course, you'll see all the hands coming up. And then I'll say, keep your hands up if you go out of your way for people you don't even like. And you can see them. And it is important, folks, to think that a lot of this is learned behaviours. And it's not about putting other people before you. It's about an equal balance. It's about that we're just as good as each other, folks, So this is about doing what feels right for you and not giving a stuff what anybody else thinks of you. I saw the light, and it was shining bright into my eyes, and it was right, and I believed it, no end in sight. I will continue on and on and on, on and on and on. So you see, it's there in front of me. I can see it 'cause I believe I'm free to be me. And it's there, the love I want to share. No more hiding 'cause I'm not scared. I'm free to be me. So I'm here in this moment, no rest for me, and there's no turning back, 'cause here's the deal, I'm gonna own it and face my fears, so I can continue on and on and on, on and on and on. Woo! So you see, it's there in front of me. I can feel it 'cause I believe I'm free to be me. And it's there, the love I want to share. No more hiding 'cause I'm not scared. I'm free to be me. 'Cause I'm free to be me. Cheers, folks. I can see you clapping behind the cameras. Okay, folks, I know we're almost coming to the end of the time. Just take a swig. Just take a swig. That's very Irish, isn't it? There you go. Okay, folks, so before I finish my set, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody that's made this happen. So as you're looking at me, I'm looking at the lovely Joe and Sean and Martha and James and Ben and Sam, all the people making this happen. And a thanks to Sam as well at the Town Council. I hope I have the authority to say that, especially to the Town Clerk. Thank you, Town Clerk. And just for making this happen, and thanks to all the other artists as well. Folks, if you want to know more about what I do, feel free to check out my website, mindmanagementforyou.com. So if you want therapy, talks, training, whatever, feel free to check me out. Or else just check out Crime Watch back in Ireland. Okay, don't do that. Right, okay, we're going to finish off with a fabulous Pam Ayres poem. And actually, before I forget, folks, I've got to mention that I have written a book about my own mental health, and it has exercises and it has insight into mental health, and it's called The Power of Knowing You, and you can get that on my website, folks. So just if you're interested in the mental health side of things. Anyway, so this is an amazing poem by Pam Ayres. Well, I think it's brilliant, and it's called The 50 Shades of Grey, but it's from a husband's point of view. And it goes like this. You see, Sean, you're lucky you're not up on stage because I would have used you in this. But anyway, okay. The missus brought a paperback downtown on Saturday. I had a look inside her bag. It was the 50 Shades of Grey. Well, I just left her to it, and at 10 I went to bed. An hour later she appeared, and the sight filled me with dread. Because in her left hand she held a rope, in her right hand a whip. She threw them down upon the floor, and she then began to strip. 50 years or so ago, I may have had a peek, but Mabel hasn't weathered well. She's 84 next week. Watching Mabel bump and grind could not have been much grimmer, and things went from bad to worse when she toppled off her Zimmer. She got back on upon her feet a couple of minutes later. She put her teeth back in and said, "I'm the dominator." If you'd know I'm Mabel, you'd know just why I'd spluttered. I spent the last 2 months in traction from the last complaint I uttered. She stood there, nude and naked. She bent forward just a bit. I went to hold her sensually like, and I stood in her left tit. Mabel screamed, her teeth shot out. By God, what had I done? She moaned and groaned and shouted out, "Step on the other one." Well, folks, I can say no more of what occurred that day. But suffice to say, my jet black hair has turned 50 shades of grey. Folks, thank you so much for watching me. I hope you've enjoyed my set, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the fantastic Rugeley Fringe Festival. Fantastic to be a part of it. Thank you.